Good morning, Dhyana ji. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session, everyone. And oops, the title of the session today is How to Become a Channel of Light. And we have Nayaswami Dhyana ji with us. Dhyana ji, I'll request you to start us with a prayer, please.
Thank you, Nitendra. Good morning, everyone. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, beloved Swamiji, we bow at thy feet. And we ask thy blessings to uplift us into thy light, into thy consciousness. Help us to be ever more perfect channels of thy light. Om Shanti Shanti. We have a song and a talk by Swamiji now.
Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so wise men say. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so wise men say. Give me a light to light my way.
Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so light my way. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so light my way. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so light my way. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so wise men say. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so light my way. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so light my way. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so light my way. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so wise men say.
Truth is the light, so wise men say.
Swamiji, would you describe yourself as having a mission in life, and if so, what is that mission?
I do have a mission in life. I met my guru, and he said that to find God, I must help his mission. He told me I have to lecture, he told me I have to write, edit. He didn't tell me to start communities, but I think that's a part of my mission too. The only reason he didn't say that, I believe, was because he knew that then I'd be thinking in terms of working separately from the organization. It wasn't time yet. But he told me to lecture, I remember especially, because I said to him, "Sir, I don't want to have to lecture. he answered quite callously, I have to say. He said, "You better learn to like it. It's what you have to do." But I realized that it was the right thing for me. Finally, my mission is to find God. And so the outer work that I'm doing is what I need to do to find God. And that, in my case, is that I've been full of doubts for many lifetimes. He told me, "You were eaten up with doubts." And I don't suppose there's a doubt that anybody could have that I haven't shared. And so I don't have doubts in this life. I haven't really had doubts. But I think I can anticipate other people's questions and doubts and can help them. And it helps me to fix that faith in myself to help them to overcome their doubts. Therefore, it's a part of my mission, which it may not be that of somebody else, to teach other people. But it's also that my guru came with a special mission, and he needed people to help him. I was divinely appointed, and he told me that. He said, "You have a great work to do." And he said that you mustn't disappoint me in that work. I think that I know that he wanted me to help spread his mission. My mission, you can say, is to help him to be known, to help the world to know his teachings, to help the world to know what an important person he is in this world, that I think that his life will have a changing impact on civilization, as Jesus did, as Buddha did, as Krishna did, and so on.
What will that change be? What do
Good morning, dear friends. This is such a wonderful topic, and so wonderful to hear Swamiji. And that it's so important to remember that our gurus came, Master came, he brought his disciples with him. It wasn't by chance that Swamiji was a direct disciple of Master. It wasn't by chance that we were drawn to Swamiji and Ananda and trained by him, that we came to be channels of light. We came to stand on the front lines. We came to help people, to serve people. Of course, as Swamiji said, when he went across the country, or you have read this or heard it, from in America to meet Master, he had two desires in his heart. One was surely to find God, but the other one was to share with others. And for us, our life isn't just our own desires, our own job, our own family, our own house, our own car, our own everything. We came with the divine mission as well, surely to change ourselves. But in that change in ourselves, as I was thinking about this, that when Master told Swamiji, "You must do these things," it wasn't just to change himself, but it was to become a channel for the Guru. And the disciple's duty is in some way to become a channel for the Guru, channel for God, a channel of light, a channel of the teachings, a channel of the techniques, to express it in our lives, not to just say, "Well, I meditate at home on my own," but what have you become? And when you look at Swamiji's life, Master, right from the beginning, had him doing those things he just talked about. You must do this, you must edit, you must lecture, you must write. Right from the beginning, he told him, and your life will be one of intense activity and meditation. And he put meditation second, but the intense activity. And also he told him, you mustn't disappoint me. Many have disappointed me. You mustn't disappoint me. Meaning, what was he saying? You must share with others what I have given to you. And when Swamiji had the resistance, even Master had the resistance with his guru, Swami Srikteswarji, when he said to him, "I don't want to be a leader. I don't," Swami Srikteswarji said, "Well, you must do it." I mean, he said, "Where would you be without all the others who have sacrificed themselves and given themselves for you to have the spiritual teachings?" This is something we have to keep in mind. And so that's when Master wrote or thought of that beautiful poem, May thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of my devotion, and may I be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. What a beautiful prayer. And so Swamiji too, he had that desire to serve, to help, but he said he had doubts. Master, as he said there, you were eaten up with doubts. And he had resistances. And when we have those resistances, we are blocking the flow of light from Guru through the disciple, not just to the disciple, but is he getting through you? And Swamiji had resistances. He said, I don't want to be a teacher. And Master said, well, it's what you have to do. And then he was that story of Master asking him to stand outside of the church where Master had given the lecture and the satsang and asked him to shake hands with people and on his behalf. We have to realize if you have chosen that, it's on the Guru's behalf that we're serving, that we're chanting, that we're singing, that we're whatever we're doing, it's on the behalf of the Guru that we're trying to serve and shine light in everything we do. And so Swamiji said he started shaking hands with each person and he just got exhausted. And he said people were drawing on him like they would have been drawing on Master. So he said to Master, please don't ask me to do that. And anymore, Master said, and Swamiji said he was exhausted. Master says, because you were thinking about yourself. Wow. Priceless guidance. You were thinking about yourself. We've got to get out of the thought that I'm limited. I have only so much energy, I have so much inspiration. I've got so many ideas. Don't ask me to do more. I can't get up early and do anything because I've got to sleep this much time. It goes on and on and on. So from serving the Guru and doing what Master had him doing, he was able to break out of those limitations and become more and more what Master wanted him to be. And so, which was the light of God. And for us, we have to realize that same spark is within each one of us. And we're trying to make that into a great flame, a great light that's coming from God and shining out. Just look at people's faces down the street. It's sad. Look in their eyes. Look at their posture. Feel their energy. People are just sinking down, and there's no need. And from our practices, everything that we do, and every practice we have is we're bringing in light, we're bringing in energy, we're uplifting our consciousness, we're making an aura of light around us. The priceless teachings, plus the grace and the blessing and the power and the light of God and gurus. The techniques open us up. They're for awakening, opening, making us receptive, and then God's light can pour through. If we energize, God's light can pour through, the energy can pour through. We do postures, we do chanting, we pray for other people. The light is just flowing through us. And think of your life before you came onto the path. Look at your old photographs even. Look at the change. I just think every day, more and more, as I practice, as I keep my attitudes right, as I serve, the light is becoming brighter and brighter and brighter. And it's like you decide. If you want the light to get less and less and less, well, go for it. But if you practice what Master gave, you become more and more bright. He said you won't be able to recognize yourself. And then what do? We take that out. We take it out and we help. And this whole world, I just remember when COVID hit, I remember we were saying, it's not a time to hide. It's a time to share. We got online, we prayed, had prayer times, healing prayer nights. We had classes going on every day. We had all kinds of programs, yoga postures and leading energization, whatever. Every center had things going. The Sangha had things. Why? We want to share the light in times of turmoil and darkness and despair and hopelessness for people. We came here, we were born to share our Guru's light. Even if you never speak a word, you don't have to be a teacher to share light. just through your vibrations. I was remembering once I was in, well, first of all, Swamiji had us all over Europe just getting out singing these beautiful songs and sharing the light. And finally, I remember once I was at an airport. You probably may have heard this story, and it was in Mumbai. We just had finished, Jaiji and I, a Kriya initiation. We were going through the airport, and the security guard was checking me, and I'm always beaming. Hello, how are you? Instead of, just act like you're the invisible person or the invisible man. There's nobody there. And she said, "Oh, what's your name and what are you doing here in India?" I explained to her, I'm just coming from a sacred program, initiation. She said, meditation. She said, "Oh, I want to learn. Can you teach me?" And I said, "Yes, here's the website." She said, "No, no, no, I want to learn now." I said, "Wonderful." And just for 2 minutes, I stayed there with her. Other people were waiting in the line. And I had her look at the spiritual eye, and I just had her watch the breath. When she opened her eyes, she was so happy. And the wonderful thing, I gave her the information how she can go deeper. The wonderful thing is 3, 4 months later, in a different part of that airport, that woman found me. She said, ma'am, do you remember me? And I saw it was a security guard. I said, "Have I done something wrong?" And she says, "No, you taught me how to meditate. I'm ready for the next step now." And I said, "Jaiji," he was with me again. I said, "Do you have the meditation book, How to Meditate?" He pulled it out of his briefcase and gave it to her. Anywhere you go, whatever you're doing, don't shut down in life. Open up and say, "I too will be a channel of light." And remember Master's words, the channel is blessed by what flows through it. And to be in tune with me, serve my work, become a channel of light. And this year of Swamiji's 100th anniversary, let's take a vow. This year, if no other time, we will be channels for the light of these great teachings. God bless you all. And we have some questions now, and you can put your questions in the chat box as well.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji, for sharing this inspiring story. It clearly means that we can be channels even at airport or wherever we go. Very So, Dhanaji, you are in Pune, I'm here in Gurgaon, and I'm so sure this is not how Ananda had started, right? If we go back when Swamiji came to India in 2003. So, in those early days of Ananda India, how did you all spread the work in so many places where it is now? Did you have help from local people, or how did things really get started?
The beginning there was maybe one person, maybe two people, but Swamiji was adamant that we shouldn't sit with him and just sort of take on his vibrations from sitting and sipping tea or whatever. He said, "Get out, go out, find people, set up classes, teach people how to meditate, give them master's teachings." So we went from city to city, major city, first tier cities, one after the other, one after the other, taught level one. Then we'd go back around again. I think I spent so much time on airplanes, not just myself, but many of us. Go back and taught level two, then we go back around and teach level three, then we go back around and go level four, then we go back around and give Kriya. Then we go back around and work with people, help people. I remember so many times standing on tables, teaching how people to energize because there wasn't even a stage there, and helping people, going around, and I loved it. Just make it so much fun. I tested people's strength, and we just had such a wonderful time because why? Guru was pleased. Get out and find people, help them in any way you can. And so, how did we start? We just forgot ourselves and got on airplanes and went around and booked halls and taught people the techniques. And that's how this centers began. First, meditation groups. Somebody would say, "I like to have people come to my home and practice these things." Then from there, we got centers. And so it started grassroots. One person saying, "I will be a channel of light. I will open my home and I will have people come and meditate. I will get a center. I will help at the center." And this is how it works. This is how Nanda around the world has been spread, how it has worked. Same principles have worked in India.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji. And it's heartening to see that we have live questions coming in, and we would definitely
Oh,
encourage.
good.
If you have questions on becoming a channel of light, please post. So the first live question, Dhanaji, is that how do we deal with the delusion of feeling powerful and that we are the doers in becoming the channel?
Oh, that's a big question. And I think, for one, it comes from past lives that you may have thought that before in some capacity that you were the doer. And that in Ananda is, I mean, you get many opportunities because to get rid of that, because there are mirrors all around you of your attitudes, right or wrong, of your energy, right or wrong. I would say offer yourself to do in doing seva. That what can I do to help? And I remember someone in we were setting up one of the centers, and this is what I love because I mean, we do everything. You set up when we would go out and do programs, we would do the registration. I typically was at the registration table trying to figure out how to pronounce the names and write the names, and Jayaji would be on the book table. Somebody set up the altar, and we'd set up the chairs sometimes in the hall, get the people with the microphones, and then we give a talk, and then we pack up the books and put them in the truck. I mean, this is Ananda. Do what's needed, not, oh, no, no, I'm a teacher. I don't touch a book. I don't sell a book. I don't write down the names. And I think if you just say, Master, I'll do anything to serve you. And I remember someone had never even didn't even know what to do with a mop. I said, hello, where have you been? Here's a mop. And so I think for all of us, get out of the comfort zone. And that's what I love the most. Going to the centers and watch when we have big events, everybody's helping to do everything. And so just get out of, I only do this, I only do that. And if you're with Ananda long enough, you will get out of that. I've done every possible job. You can just say, we wear all the hats. And that's what makes people a good teacher or a person who can help on a deeper level because you've done everything. It's not that you've pumped yourself up and now you look down on people. So you can get rid of that by service in what we do at Ananda, in the ways that we serve. So that's what I would recommend.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji. It'll definitely help us that we do not get into the ego by serving. So, Dhanaji, did Swamiji train at Ananda, the Ananda people? I mean, how did he train them to be channels of light? And how can I use that to serve without thinking of myself or wanting praise?
I think he did it by on the job training. I mean, he didn't say, you have a big ego, you need to go do this. I remember he said to me, when I was new at Ananda, he said, do you sing? And I said, no, I don't sing. I had been singing all the time, in the churches and all I grew up. He said, get in the choir then. I said no, but he said, get in the choir. So I started singing in the choir. And at the beginning, the small group at that, 5 people. And if you were off, you were off. And I would remember my knees would be shaking in the beginning, but then I got into it. Now, why are my knees shaking? Because I was thinking about myself. And then I remember people were asking, and Swamiji would have you do the reading at the satsang. And you go, me? I don't want to do the reading. I can't read, but you can read. Of course, you can read. So you do the reading, and then you get more and more relaxed in it. And every time I would go to Swamiji thinking, I need help and guidance, he would say, here, go do this. Here's a job for you. Here's something you need to do this. And so it was like he just kept you going. And sometimes you were uncomfortable, but you got out of it. And that's how we grew, from him just telling us, this will help you do this, not sitting down and lecturing you.
Thank you, Dhanaji. So, then, if like you said that Master told Swamiji that your job is teaching and sharing the work, And like you gave an example that Swamiji told you to get in the choir. So how could we figure out that what is it that Master wants us to do in our seva? That's also another live question that just came, Dhanaji.
I think just go to one of the centers and ask, what kind of help do you need? You know, someone was saying to me the other day, I want a big job. I said, why? Why do you need a big job? And they said, well, what should I do? I said, just go there and say, I'll take anything. Just help. What help do you need? So when we were with Swamiji, we didn't go to Swamiji and say, give me a big job. You know, we said, just how can we be useful? And I remember when he had an initiation, what do I want to say, a ceremony to ordain ministers at Ananda, and nobody, I was like 20 something years old. I thought, this got to be somebody else. And nobody was feeling like, oh, I just feel wonderful about this. And people were kind of afraid, you know, what does this mean? And you are certainly not wanting to give any talks, just like what Swamiji said to Master. But then he said to us, it comes from other lifetimes. You've done it before. Don't think about it. You know, don't think about it. And so, but that was one thing amongst 50 that that's an exaggeration, but you get the point. One thing amongst many things that you were doing. It wasn't just, I sit at home until I give a lecture. I study and I give the lecture. Like, look at Jyotish and Daviji. They're just some of the founding members. Jayaji. You dug ditches. You built homes. You set up a retreat facility. You've heard the various stories. And so it wasn't a comfortable life. It was like, how much energy can you put out and then put out more? And so that was our training, was with him, was Swamiji, just keep going. And then you started losing the egoic part of you that said, I'm an important person.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji. So at times it does happen that when we are meditating, that time we do actually feel the light or see the light. How do we, and perhaps that light is also coming from our masters. So how do we take that light and that joy and continue it throughout the day? Are there any techniques or any ways through which we can, like the
I
example that
mean,
you gave of being at the airport and still sharing the light? So how do we take it from our meditation to our daily lives?
well, let's put it this way. You can't give something you don't have. So, we were coming from Kriya. If you don't have any light after Kriya, I would wonder about that. So in your meditation afterwards, at the end, do your healing prayer and spread light, send light out to people who are in need. And after you meditate doing Kriya, you've energized, you've done Mahamudra. If you're Kriya Bond, you did prayers, I would say read something, and then you're filled with light. And then what I want to say is you can't help, it's flowing out of you. And so, and if you don't feel that, maybe do something to make that happen more, super conscious living exercises, or put on a talk. This is what I do by Swamiji. Every day I want to hear what he's saying. He's teaching me. And read something, open a book, say, Master, teach me, tell me. And then try it in smaller ways with your family. You don't have to go out and say, I'm a channel of light, but go out and be kindness. And I find this helps. It might help you. If I feel like my energy is dropping, I find something to do to pull it up. And what I find is something to do for other people. It could be just a message. Thank you for the talk, or thank you for sending me that book, or I just get out of myself, or call somebody. How are you? I was just thinking of you. How's everything going? And they don't know I'm trying to be a channel of light. I'm just getting out of myself. Or just get over to the center. How can I help? Let me do something. You see what I'm saying? It's like, what can I say? You've got to turn on the light. You can't just say, where's the light? Master said, turn it on. You can turn it on by getting in touch with people, messaging, going to the center, bringing prasad to the program, bringing the flowers, just, I always think of what can I do to get out of myself? And if you think of it that way, Master will give you ideas. Do this, go do that, go do this. And sometimes if you just can't break out, have somebody praying for you, and that will help you. But try to be a channel. Don't say, no, it's a dark world, it's heavy. I feel heavy, everybody's heavy. Finally, I'll say that I went through that one time. I just said, God, thank God it was a while back. I said, everything's so heavy and it's dark and there's problems everywhere. And I just thought, I'm never going to get out of this. And I was looking at a picture of Master and I said, why is everything so bad? I mean, everything's bad. And then I thought about my friends and they're having a hard time and I'm having a hard time. I was like complaining to the guru. And what I felt from Master, I didn't hear in a voice or anything. I felt what he was saying was, what channel are you tuned to? And isn't that the truth? What channel are you tuned to? You can turn on the dark channel or you can turn on the channel of light. So after that, I realized, okay, he's right. I'm wrong. I got to change the station here. And we've got every possibility of kirtan, of chanting, of singing in the choir, of meditation, of seva, of SCL, superconscious living exercise, energization, yoga postures, everything. You've got every possible way to change the station. But you have to do it yourself. Nobody's going to change that dial for you. So if you want to be a channel of light, you have to say, I want to do it. I can, I will, I am going to do it. And then God's power and light will flow into you. God bless you all. And thank you, Nitendra. And I think there's an affirmation in the chat, but let's do it a couple of times. We're out of time, but just a couple of times. Just close your eyes and affirm with me. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I'm living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I am living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. Now, just mentally, I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I'm living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. Om Shanti, Shanti. God bless you all. And thank you, Nitendra.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so wise men say. Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so wise men say. Give me a light to light my way.
Give me a light to light my way. Truth is the light, so light my way. Give me a light to light my way.